Hello and welcome to a very funky episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. I am your host, Master of Ceremony, and local projectionalist at the Alamo Draft House, Joseph Henry Vrenick, and today I have with me...
Boy, that Omar Sharif sure runs fast. Hi, I'm Austin Zwiebelman.
Hi, I'm Tim M. Sullivan. I'm a local autistic man, and according to director Shane Black, that means that I am the higher evolved form of human being.
Oh, man. God, if only Tanner were here to react to that.
What happened to him? What was that movie?
What was that movie? And if you couldn't tell by some of these references we've been making, we're talking about the cult hit. I got to be careful with my terminology here. It was a cult hit movie. The Shane Black directed The Nice Guys. Why are we talking about The Nice Guys? It turns 10 years old this month. It's 10 years old. It's gotten a beloved cult following. Was not a hit when it came out. It sadly got its ass kicked by the much maligned Angry Birds movie. This was the year that cinema really went down the toilet. But hey, we got The Nice Guys out of it, so there's at least something. But before we start talking about The Nice Guys, we got a quick warm-up question. The Nice Guys is in the tradition of, and it's a field that Shane Black is very familiar with, the buddy movie, or the buddy cop movie. And it's a really good one at that. So, my opening question for you guys is, what is your favorite buddy movie, buddy cop movie, or both? They can be both. Completely up to you. But what's your favorite buddy movie, buddy cop movie? Tim, we'll start with you.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Back to you, Joe.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'll be honest.
Good answer.
I forgot this one had an opening question, so I didn't think too much about it. But you know what? I'm gonna go with one that I've caught bits and pieces of a couple times recently that is funnier than I remembered it being, which is The Other Guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. That's just like a fun, goofy buddy comedy, but buddy cop comedy. I've been quoting the desk pop bit a lot. I think that's a really good bit. She's like, they were so convincing in their argument. I also just love Will Ferrell fucking decimating Mark Wahlberg in the scenario that he presented him with, just the tuna versus mountain lion thing. She's like, I just beat you at your own game.
I performed that monologue once for an audition. I got the part.
That's awesome. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what it really comes down to, is the chemistry between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg in that movie is so funny. It's not my favorite Will Ferrell movie by any means. He was making a lot of stuff around that time. But it's one that I always kind of forget about, and then I put it on. I'm just like, this one's pretty good. So, yeah, in lieu of actually thinking about this question, I'm going with The Other Guys. Back to you, Joe.
Very good answer. Very good answer. It's a very fun movie still. Austin, buddy. What is your favorite buddy movie, buddy cop movie? What say you?
I've got two other guy related detours now that Tim brought it up before I even answer. So first off, not to shit on the movie, but I read a Reddit comment where somebody was telling their friend about how good The Nice Guys is, and was like, you've got to see this movie, it's so underrated, and then they accidentally bought The Other Guys, and they were like, yeah, this is good, but it's not as good as you said it was.
Yeah.
Mind you, I like The Other Guys a lot, especially the aim for the bushes scene. That's iconic, that's famous.
Oh, yeah.
But also, The Other Guys is the movie that kind of set Adam McKay on his kind of current political bent. He talks about this a little, like putting together the credits for The Other Guys, where they show like how financial crimes work. It awoke something in his brain, and that led to The Big Short. It was him kind of dipping his toe in the water. Thank you for bringing that up. See, to answer the question, when I think buddy cop movie, I think of a film where the two cops are actually friends. Otherwise, my answer to this question would be Training Day, 1000%. Training Day is one of the best fucking movies I have ever seen, and it's insane that Antoine Fuqua got stuck with that legally compromised Michael Jackson biopic that just came out. But at the end of the day, Hoyt and Alonzo are not buddies. Buddies don't leave you to get your shit pushed in. Unless you're into that, which I can respect. If we're talking about movies where the two lead cops are actually like buddies, and I'm not allowed to say The Nice Guys, my pick is Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right. When he started working on shit, he had that early Pixar level streak going. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, fucking legendary run. Hot Fuzz might still be the single best movie he has made so far. Not only does Hot Fuzz deliver on jokes, it also contains gore that's downright obscene. And as a child of the 2000s, I absolutely adore when an action comedy has the balls to randomly drop disgusting gore in out of nowhere. Because I'll admit it, I think gore is cool. All those fucking PG-13 movies where everybody gets shot full of gray bullet holes are bad for society.
Yeah.
We need to see the disgusting impact of violence for it to properly land. Also, this movie gave me a taste of what British people in the 30s felt like when Agatha Christie dropped a new book. The fact that, like, this is a riff on Michael Bay cop films with a twist like The Wicker Man is so far above the usual quality of plot you get in a buddy cop movie. Plus, they got the cocaine era James Bond as the final boss. That's crazy. Yeah, I've been saying this ever since, like, the first time I watched this thing back in 2007. Hot Fuzz is the best buddy cop film of that decade, and more importantly, one of the greatest action films ever made. Yeah, that's my pick. Joe, I hope that wasn't your pick. Back to you.
Yeah, for the record, Austin's answer is the better answer than my answer. Hot Fuzz, 100%.
Yeah, I will say this. That was my answer, but I have a backup. Don't worry. I came prepared. Because, yeah, like, Hot Fuzz, I swear to God, Hot Fuzz, it's not only, like, one of the best comedy, like, movies ever made, not only is it, like, one of the best buddy cop comedies ever made, it's just one of the best action movies, period. Like, on top of it just, like, being a perfect comedy, it is a perfect action movie as well. It is firing on all fucking cylinders. Great fucking movie. But it's my time to shine. Austin did pick my answer. My answer was going to be Hot Fuzz, but I did stipulate that it could just be a buddy movie. So I think I'm going to take a bit of a different route. My pick for favorite buddy movie, I'm going to stick in the realm of comedies because that's where the buddy movie tends to work the best. And I'm actually gonna go to the same year that Hot Fuzz came out because another really good buddy movie was released in the year 2007. It launched its two leads into the spotlight. They became huge stars. One of the co-stars became a huge meme that's still talked about to this day. One of the writers of the movie is also one of the co-stars of it. I'm talking Superbad. Superbad is a fucking great buddy movie. It hits very fucking different the older that you get. In particular towards the end of that movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah.
I do want to say something about that real quick, because I remember watching Superbad in high school, like 2008 or something. It was like a little bit after it had come out. And when that ending happened, I just thought, that's it. That's how the movie ends. This is really unsatisfying. And then, like, a couple of years later, I'd started college and had grown apart from my friends, and I was like, oh, I get it now. I had the fucking Danny DeVito Always Sunny moment. Just, oh my god, I get it.
Yeah, it hits very different when you're like a certain age and you watch this movie, but then when you get like a little bit older and like life happens, you're just like, oh yeah, that's kind of sad. But the rest of that movie is a fun fucking romp from like the very beginning all the way to that point. Just two guys. It's a simple plot, and just all of these shenanigans happen, and most of them are very funny. McLovin was an icon for a reason. Everyone loves McLovin, and man, oh man, the stuff he gets up to in that movie is some of the funniest stuff in that movie. But the buddy dynamic of I almost called him Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen's not
Jonah Hill.
I mean Jonah Hill. Yeah. He plays a surrogate Seth Rogen. I guess this is based off of Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Them growing up.
Yeah, I do love the
so
trivia that apparently Jonah Hill actually legitimately fucking hated the McLovin actor. So like all of his reactions are genuine.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That just makes that all so much funnier.
Yeah, but the buddy dynamic of Jonah Hill and Michael Cera works so well in the movie. Like you do believe that these guys are friends at like a very pivotal point in their lives. And just the bickering that they kind of have like back and forth with each other is very fun. There's also a very, very funny connection with that movie and Hot Fuzz, believe it or not. Specifically the quote-unquote interview where Jonah Hill freaks out at an interviewer. There was a joke interview on the press tour for Superbad, where the interviewer keeps asking Michael Cera and Jonah Hill, what does it mean to be Superbad? And Jonah Hill keeps freaking the fuck out. All of that is completely staged, but here's how it connects back to Hot Fuzz. The person that's conducting the interview is none other than Edgar Wright. And when you know that, it's very fucking funny.
Oh. I gotta rewatch that.
But you want to know what else is very funny, much like Superbad, and also kind of a little sad, like Superbad? The Nice Guys. We're gonna get to the topic at hand today.
You beat people up and charge money?
Yeah. Sad, isn't it?
That's really your job?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So, how much would you charge to beat up my friend Janet?
What?
How much you got?
$30.
Look,
$30.
apple pie.
Is she a big girl?
She's tall.
All right,
Super
look.
annoying.
Apple
She's
pie.
always mean to me.
Just eat.
$30.
That's good. This conversation is over.
We're just talking.
And it's over.
Who are we gonna start with? Am I gonna have it be Tim? No, I think, you know, he looks eager to go. I'm going with Austin. Austin, buddy. What are your... No?
I think Tim should go first. I think
You want
Tim should lead it off.
All right.
All right, Tim! We're gonna pass it to you then.
All right.
What are your overall thoughts on The Nice Guys?
Yeah, so I didn't see The Nice Guys like when it came out. I remember seeing commercials for it, thinking it looked neat. But I think I've mentioned this on the channel before, that in 2020 I did a thing where I was just like, I'm gonna watch 366 movies that I've never seen before. And this just happened to be one of those 366 movies that I caught on some streaming platform, whatever it was on at the time. And like I remember enjoying it at the time, but it'd been a while since I'd watched it, and like on this watch, I was just kind of watching it thinking like, this is a movie that I think if you showed this to like an 8th or 9th grader, they'd just be like, hell yeah, this is the best movie ever. And it's a solid time. It's a lot of fun. It has a lot of really good like dialogue and banter. I love just kind of everything with Ryan Gosling and his daughter, like the famous line, "There's whores here and stuff." What I tell you, don't say and stuff. Just say, "Dad, there are whores here." Um, you get a lot of lines like that. They just have really good chemistry, and then, like, he has really good chemistry with Russell Crowe too. They're kind of like at odds with each other, but both trying to come together to help the thing. There's a lot more star power in this than I remembered, because, like, obviously there's Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. I did not remember Keith David being in this. I did not remember fucking Hannibal Buress coming in for a scene as a bee. I didn't know who the fuck Margaret Qualley was when this movie came out, so when I saw baby Margaret Qualley, I was like, what the fuck? She's good in this. She's like a very high energy character in this, and you know, I enjoyed seeing her in this. I think it does a pretty good job of kind of balancing the humor with some more serious moments, kind of like what Joe was saying. It has some interesting things to say about, like, the exploitation of the porn industry versus, like, freedom of personal expression, because that's kind of a tightrope to walk, and I think it has a lot of interesting things to say about that. And yeah, just some fun buddy cop comedy action thrills. Yeah, just overall pretty solid movie. Back to you, Joe.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that. Love to hear that. Austin, we're gonna pass it off to you next. What are your thoughts on The Nice Guys?
I can't believe Tim didn't bring up Kim Basinger. That's crazy. We're not beating the Sausage Fest allegations. Kim Basinger is right there. The LA Confidential reunion, Russell Crowe and that lady, and we didn't even know.
Oh yeah, shit.
Right. Apparently, what is it? Shane and Anthony were asked about that, and they completely denied trying to do that intentionally. They're like, we just wanted somebody iconic for the part, so that wasn't premeditated. Cool. Would have been cooler almost if they said it was. As people frequently point out, this is Shane Black cashing a couple of Marvel-related checks that he previously wrote. Because he took a big risk casting a freshly out of rehab Robert Downey Jr. in his movie Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and then Jon Favreau saw that and loved the performance, RDJ gets cast as Iron Man. Then RDJ, he pays Shane back by bringing him on as the director for Iron Man 3, which made $1.2 billion. And that is how Shane Black was able to get $60 million for an original R-rated, non-IP detective comedy. Sort of. Okay, the truth is a little bit less Marvel-centric. So, Shane Black and his co-writer, fellow comedian who he met in a bowling league, Anthony Bagarozzi, have been trying to make this all the way since 2001. For a while, around 2006, The Nice Guys was actually a TV show that was going to air on CBS. It was supposed to be set in the modern day, revolving around two detectives with a sex tape in the mix, but they couldn't have any fun over at CBS.
I can see this being a Showtime show, though.
It's a shame they went network, because fucking CEO at the time, Les Moonves, he apparently, he had a big note. He forbade them from doing something as tame. He had a shit fit at the scene where one detective puts his daughter in the trunk of a car. He was like, you cannot put that on television under any circumstances. Really, it reflects, they were just, butting heads with standards and practices the whole time they tried to put this on TV. So, that flopped. Then, around 2009, they met with Joel Silver, the famous action movie producer, and reworked it as a period piece set in the 70s. You see, this production did the whole thing that Requiem for a Dream did with Perfect Blue, where you buy the rights to a whole property because you want to flagrantly plagiarize one really minor aspect of said property. They bought the rights to this Brett Halliday novel, Blue Murder, because Shane loved the idea of a detective story centering around this mysterious porno film, where the twist is that it's not like the nudity in the porn that has everybody chomping at the bit. It's the political information hidden in the porn that has the bad guys like Jimmy's all wrestled. And in order to make a plot like that, for logistical and cultural reasons, you've got to do it in the 70s. Even then, it would be like another 4 years until fucking anything happened. This movie got made because one day, out of the blue, Ryan Gosling, of The Notebook fame, got his hands on the script and wanted to sign on because he is a huge fan of the lesser-known project that Shane did after Lethal Weapon, a little 1987 ditty known as Monster Squad. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
After
Wolfman's
Gosling
got
signed on,
moments.
after Gosling signed on, within a matter of days, this script, 12 years in the making, blossomed into an actual fucking movie that people besides the two writers were now prepared to make. Apparently, Gosling was a godsend in more ways than one. Not only did he really get the ball rolling, after the first table read, they rewrote the entire script over the course of a weekend just to incorporate all the stuff that Gosling made up at the table read. And, this isn't by any means an extensive list, but we have Shane on the record confirming that Ryan came up with folding the little dollar bill into an origami shirt, putting the hat on the nun, the fake German at the end of the movie, and the entire thing where the whole bit where he has a crush on Callie. So the truth is, this movie got made because that kid from the Mickey Mouse Club liked Monster Squad. At the end of the day, that's what happened. Now, as I stated previously, this movie is set in the 70s, specifically Los Angeles in 1977. The year Time magazine wrote, "L.A., a city committing suicide." The writers, Shane and Anthony, had both lived in California at that time. Fun fact, that kid the movie Mask is based on, Rocky Dennis, actually lived in the neighborhood right behind Anthony's house in West Covina. Crazy. Possibly due to them having actually lived there at the time, this movie does a really good job of capturing what America was like in the 70s. There really was a thick layer of smog in California. Anthony actually had to move. Which was a byproduct of a very real catalytic converter conspiracy. The gas rationing was real, the sleazebags preying on teenagers, the proliferation of porno, and the strange effect it had on said teenagers. In the name of authenticity, they actually bought a real Playboy centerfold photographer out of retirement just to capture that one photo of Misty Mountains for the beginning of this movie. You know the one. His name is Artie Freitag. Look him up on your computer at work. You guys know, my favorite movie of all time is Paul Thomas Anderson's motherfucking Boogie Nights. And that is purely due to the stuff that I personally gravitate towards, which includes flashy recreations of the 1970s that are realistic but not too grim, and pornography. The Nice Guys is basically the only other movie I have found that scratches that itch. And while it may not be a tremendously, complex meditation on found family in the film industry, it reminds me of that thing people say about synthwave music. How synthwave sounds more 80s than actual 80s music did. The Nice Guys, as this, modern riff on buddy cop movies, ends up being the best buddy cop movie since Hot Fuzz. And I don't think we've seen anything of this caliber in the last 10 years, as much as I fucking love Zootopia 2. I know that this is all, background, and I fucking said nothing about the movie, but fuck you, go watch it yourself. This is a really solid 9 out of 10 for me. One of the very few movies, like Goodfellas, where I could just watch it over and over without getting bored. In the great book of biblical tragedies, you have God sending his only son down to die on a cross, and this movie losing to the Angry Birds at the box office. Those are the only two. Back to you, Joe.
God, that information it's still bitter to hear. But all good points, Austin. My time to shine. Hello. All right, so I love this movie. I love the look of it. I love the aesthetic. It's a very cozy movie when you get down to it. I just like being in this little, like, pocket, like, 1970s Los Angeles and just hanging out with these guys. I love our two leads. I love Russell Crowe. I love Ryan Gosling. I think they both bring a lot of fun at the table. I think their characters are already very well written, but man, oh man, they bring a lot to the table for their characters with their personality. In particular, Gosling. I'm not surprised that the stuff that he improv'd at the table read was all done by him, and I'm happy that all of that made it in because that's some of the best stuff in the movie. Ryan Gosling in this movie is on another fucking level. Everyone loves Ken. Everyone loves Project Hail Mary. Everyone loves Drive, and those are all great Ryan Gosling performances. But honestly, this one might be my favorite Ryan Gosling performance. He is crazy good in this because. On the one hand, man, oh man, you feel bad a little bit for this guy because, Jesus H. Christ, his life is such a fucking wreck. Partly because he's kind of causing it, and then the other instance, when you find out what happened to his wife, you're just like, oh god, I feel bad for this poor sucker. But then it's also the funniest fucking thing ever because, Jesus H. Christ, him comparing just random shit to Hitler. It's like, yeah, you want to know who else did that? Hitler. The fucking German at the end that he's speaking to Kim Basinger. The funniest bit for me is that fucking scream. Holy shit, that fucking scream is maybe the greatest thing ever. But yeah, he is my favorite This is my favorite performance from him in general. I love Ryan Gosling in this movie. That's not to take away from Russell Crowe, who's great in this. That's also not to take away from Angourie Rice in a star-making performance in this movie. It's a shame that, man oh man, none of the movies she made after this are really worth your salt. This is maybe the best thing she's ever done. I mentioned the look. I love the soundtrack to this movie. That's the thing. When you set a movie in the 70s, the chances of having a great soundtrack in your movie are strong because Jesus H. Christ, the 70s, on top of just having great movies and great aesthetic, they had like maybe the best music ever. Holy shit, the music in the 70s is good.
Exhibit A, Anchorman.
Exhibit A, Anchorman.
That
Exhibit
does have
B,
a genuinely
Boogie Nights.
good soundtrack.
It really does. Boogie Nights is another example of that. I'm actually very happy that you brought up the Boogie Nights comparison, Austin. I was kind of waiting for it, too. There's probably a lot more that I want to talk about this, but in general, I think overall, it's a great movie with a great look, a great cast. It's very funny. It's very entertaining. When the action happens, it's very fun. But yeah, overall, good movie. It's a shame that it flopped, but hey, it's getting a cult following. We may have more to talk about this movie later in the pipeline, but first we're gonna take a quick ad. Here's an ad for the Waltons.
Night, John Boy.
Making movies, making music, and fighting round the world. Russell Crowe.
And we're back from that ad for another ad. Movies, colors, pretty, art. You like? Movie palettes. Tim, Mandy, Tanner, Punch Drunk Love. You don't have one. Get one. Nice Guys, you can get. Favorite movie, you can also get. Get now! Squad 15! Code at checkout! Save 15% on order. Moviepalette.com. Get that shit. You know what? Fuck it. I'll throw in one more ad, just so that I don't have to say it at the end. 35mm keepsake. My Etsy shop. Keychains. 35mm film cell. Inside keychain. Movies. Movie good. Go Etsy now. 35mm keepsake. I have lots of stuff on there. All right. Back to the show. We're going to just open the floodgates for general discussion. Who wants to go first? Anybody got anything they want to bring up?
I got a silly one. I'll start with this because I sent a video in the group chat when I was watching the movie because I was watching it with I was watching the movie with closed captions on. I rented it from Fandango at home, and it was like the scene where all the kids are trying to get their bowling shoes, and the subtitles are just like, "I'm a 6, I'm a 7, 6, 7."
Oh my god!
And Joe didn't realize why I recorded that at first, and he was just like, "Oh no."
It's like it took me a second because I just wanted to quote the quote Ryan Gosling in that scene, but then once I realized why he sent it, I was just like, "Oh no, Shane Black! What does he know?
Yeah.
What does he know?"
Oh, no.
He knew, and he let it happen to Gen Alpha.
I will say this, speaking of that particular scene, I just love how this character's not even really that big of a character. She's only in it for this particular scene, the scene at the bowling alley, and they're constantly shitting on this character Janet, and she's like, Janet's the worst. Nobody likes Janet. And then they do a pretty solid job of setting up why nobody likes Janet.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my god, yeah, no, I don't even like Janet. Mm-hmm. You took the Lord's name in vain. No, I didn't, Janet. I actually found it very useful. Okay, Janet. That actually may be my favorite line in the movie. Is just I found it very useful. God.
So you all have heard that bit about how you couldn't remake Blazing Salad.
Blazing Salads?
You can't make Blazing Salads today. So you have all heard the bit, you can't make Blazing Saddles today, right?
Yeah.
And,
right.
The cool guy riff on this is you couldn't remake Blazing Saddles because the executives would halt production and go, "This movie already exists! It's called Blazing Saddles!" But to really engage with the remark in earnest for a second and contemplate, is this one of those movies like Riding the Bus with My Sister or Soul Man, where you genuinely couldn't get it made today? Shane and Anthony actually talk about this on the commentary, that you couldn't get away with some of the shit they pull in this film, mostly related how they put actual teenage actors in scenes where they're exposed to and remarking on the porn industry.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that is one of the novel things about this movie that kind of contributes to its atmosphere. And none of it feels like stuff that would traumatize the actors.
Right.
But it is kind of nice because anyone who, has been a teenager, I don't know, maybe teenagers these days are different than millennial teenagers were, but we absolutely knew what porn was. Teenagers are little stinkers, and it was just kind of neat having a film just be like, here they are, they're little shitheads. The fucking kid on the bike who's like, hey, you want to see my dick? Shit is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there is that whole, thing people keep saying about how Gen Z is sex repulsed or whatever, and that is true for some of Gen Z, but then the other half of Gen Z, I feel like there are some fucking depraved porn heads in Gen Z.
I feel like the fact that there's such a strong dialogue about porn addiction among young people on Twitter shows that they're going way harder into the paint than we did. Because back in my day, we did not have portable computers you could hold.
Right.
I didn't have a private computer to watch porn on. My computer was in my dad's office. Watching porn was an operation.
Right.
Okay. They're probably more vulnerable to it.
Yeah.
But It's also worth saying this was an independent movie. I think it's Ken Cow was the producer who pulled off the magic $60 million. He actually assembled it from a bunch of different places. It wasn't just like a big studio like WB being like, here's $60 million, we're gonna hover over production now. And that might be one of the reasons they got away with like Aunt Jury Rice watching porn with that little girl from The Long Kiss Goodnight, that actress. Just a lot of stuff in here where it's like, especially in 2026, people seem like that feels like way more of a third rail thing now than it was back in 2016, for reasons related to the way conservatives do discourse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to remark on that.
The 12 years of the Trump administration.
Oh, God.
Man, they've really done a number on us.
Oh. Do you guys, we got any Kiss Kiss Bang Bang heads in here? I kind of wanted to gauge if you like this more or less than Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I haven't seen it, but I do want to see that one.
It's been a second since I've seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I do like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang quite a bit, but I think I might like this just a little bit more than I do Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I actually, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is also based on a Brett Halliday novel called Bodies Are Where You Find Them. I actually like The Nice Guys way better than Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I have recently rewatched, because Kiss Kiss Bang Bang did that whole, like, meta-narrator shtick, and that shtick only works, in my opinion, when the narrator sounds the way normal people talk. We're gonna run into this as, like, the average person's, like, sense of humor and their demeanor changes. Like, Deadpool-type movies are gonna get a lot more cringe way faster, because if the narrator sounds off while they're, like, pausing the movie to do a bit, that whole, like, oh, this is surprisingly relatable thing, like, goes right out the fucking window. I remember I was watching it, and I loved Kiss Kiss Bang Bang when I was younger, especially, like, Val Kilmer is the gay guy. There's some really good bits with him. But just, like, RDJ would literally, like, pause the movie and, like, do his, like, yeah, isn't this so fucking dumb shtick? But he sounds like a fucking dude from 2007. Like, he sounds like a dude from 20 years ago, and so it doesn't work quite as good these days. If you guys have a chance to watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang anytime soon.
I mean, I'm going through all my favorite movies again, so I may actually have to add that to the docket. But I will say this, though. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, it does have a significantly funnier line than anything in The Nice Guys, though, which is, it's from Val Kilmer specifically, which is, look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find? Picture of me? No! The definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are!
There's a scene where he, like, easily, like, dodges a drink and then says some quip at somebody, and that scene always stuck out to me.
There's just real quick. Whenever I hear about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, there's this recurring Key and Peele skit where the valet drivers are talking about, like, this is my shit, and when in one of them they're talking about how Val Kilmer's and Robert Downey Jr.'s are their shit. Just like, and their careers came together for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is my shit.
Oh, speaking of Val Kilmer, his son is in this. His son is Chet. The Chet who Ryan Gosling is always like, fuck Chet, and consistently the only character who gets more hate than Janet. And Val Kilmer's son, like, hasn't done anything big. Like, the biggest thing he's done since this movie was he played that guy in Mayhem who's on the cover of Dawn of the Blackhearts. Real black metal fans will know the cover of Dawn of the Blackhearts. He plays that guy in a biopic about Mayhem called Lords of Chaos. I think it came out in 2018. Plays the guy who fucking domed himself. But yeah, we briefly get Val Kilmer's kid in this. I guess maybe he'll be in the third Top Gun Maverick movie. Yeah, maybe they'll bring him in. Not a big acting career so far, but he's good in this. Yeah.
God, I forgot they're doing a Top Gun 3. God damn. Did you hear that they announced a Top Gun 3 recently?
Yeah.
God, we don't need Top Gun 3. I don't want Top Gun 3. I want a Nice Guys 2. Man, this movie feels like it needs like 10 fucking sequels.
Yeah, that should have been a
10 may be
Showtime
a stretch.
show.
It should have been a Showtime show, yeah.
They tried to make this into the producer, Joel Silver, tried to make this into a show like a year afterward. He tried to make it into The Nice Girls. They got far enough that I think the network paid them to get a script written by the guy who did 30 minutes or less. And it just did not get past that stage. Basically, that guy got paid to write a script, and then everybody looked at it and went, nope, we're not even filming a pilot. But, that's the last thing. I just don't know why Joel Silver looked at this and he was like, all right, let's gender swap it and make it a network TV show on Fox. That's not the vibe at all. What the fuck?
No, that's not what you do. You keep
Shane
it going.
Anthony,
Sorry.
Oh, Shane and Anthony did say on the commentary, or I think it was just Shane, that he'd be comfortable making movies with these two characters for the rest of his life, like what Rian Johnson is doing with Knives Out.
Yeah.
So that the urge is there.
Yeah, I like these characters. I want to see more of them, and I want to see them get into hijinks.
Yeah, we should have gotten Nice Guys 2 instead of The Predator.
We should have gotten a Nice Guys 2 instead of did they make a third Angry Birds movie? I don't remember. I know they made a 2, but did they make a 3?
I don't watch children's movies that don't look interesting to me.
Sorry,
we got 2 fucking Angry Birds movies.
I'm picturing Angry Birds 3 Tokyo Drift. It's got a little Bow Wow in it.
You know what? I'm gonna find out. You got a point. Bring it up.
During the die-in with the protesters, this is minor, the dude who's just chilling there smoking a cigarette, that's J. Todd Anderson. The dude who does the storyboards for all the Coen Brothers movies is just chilling there smoking a cigarette. One of the legendary storyboard artists of our time. Just chilling.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Also, confirmed, there are 3 Angry Birds movies. The third one has not been released yet. It releases later this year. Just rub some more salt into the wound, why don't ya?
Fuck.
I mean,
why?
I watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and that's enough for me this year. That's enough of children's animated movies that look like slop.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and I was like, I think I'm good. I'm done.
It did not bring out the warm fuzzies for me.
Yeah.
The Sheep Detectives is getting good reviews. Thank God Craig Mazin wrote a movie about sheep detectives.
The man, oh man, Cody Suiso may have some funny things to say when we do Mortal Kombat 2, because that was his double feature yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he watched Mortal Kombat 2 and then The Sheep Detective, and he liked one significantly more than the other.
What's weird is based on what I've been hearing, and he's the guy with the original Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet, he owns that thing. It might be the Sheep Detectives, might be the movie he liked more.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie's getting solid reviews, and, I wanted the movie. There was this solid bit in this movie, The Nice Guys, that got cut, or it didn't get filmed. So Russell Crowe, as you can see, he actually lives upstairs at the Comedy Store. If you pay attention, you can he has to walk past the stand-up comedians to get to his little place where he lives. And there was a bit, either written into early versions of the script or just thought up, where whenever his life was miserable, there was a laugh track coming through the walls, so every time something bad happened to him, there was just laughter just pouring through the fucking place that he lived at. He had this depressing life with a built-in laugh track, and honestly, I think that bit is conceptually quite good, and I wish they had put it in the movie.
I wish they had put that in the movie too! That's a great bit!
Mm-hmm.
God! They were just on another fucking level when they made this fucking thing. God. Sorry.
One thing I learned about Shane Black's process, he writes movies, before he writes a movie, he visualizes the trailer in his mind for the movie he hasn't written yet, and then he starts writing, disconnected scenes, and works backwards and tries to, connect them together with plot. That seems fucking crazy to me. He uses a 2-act structure instead of a 3-act structure, apparently. And he claims on the commentary that, like, every James Cameron movie does the same thing. So, like, clearly I'm not a high enough level screenwriter to even understand what Shane Black does, is more or less my point here.
Well, like, you bring up James Cameron, and, like, that process does sound crazy, the whole, like, starting with the trailer and then making the whole thing. But I just am thinking back to, apparently, the first thing that James Cameron thought of when he was making the Terminator was just, I want a robot skeleton in a flame. And then he's just like, all right, so how do I make that into a movie? So then he reverse engineered Terminator from there.
God. I will say this. I want to bring up a little funny anecdote, specifically with a quote that happens in this movie. I remember this was with a former co-worker of mine at the Alamo Draft House. They don't work there anymore. But I remember we were talking like about some of our favorite movies at the bar, and I remember I brought up The Nice Guys because I think I was thinking of watching it that night, and I had brought up The Nice Guys, and then I didn't realize he was quoting the movie to me at the time because he said it so deadly serious. But he looks at me and he just goes, "All right, let me ask you this, and be completely straight with me. Don't hold anything back.
Oh.
Am I an asshole?" And I genuinely thought he was asking me this question. Like, he was just like, well, he was also drinking at the time, so I was just like, oh man, he's had one too many, hasn't he? But then he follows it up with, yeah. And then he mentions that's like his favorite quote, and I'm like my heart just kind of stopped for a second. Yeah, it was a very interesting conversation, and that's why. And speaking of him having a few too many, that's why we have a skeleton sitting in the lobby.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that story I'm not gonna get into, but there is a backstory to that skeleton in the lobby.
Christ on a bike. Yeah, that is a power move. A great way to like just trap people is just like really slowly be like, "Am I an asshole?" Just out of nowhere. I used to fuck with people sometimes in college. I would stop strangers and just sit with them and be like, "Are you happy?" And it fucked me so bad. People I've never met in my whole life. It was perfect. I had a couple people who were just like, no, and I just didn't want to continue the conversation. I had one guy who said yes. It was amazing. I miss doing that bit.
Speaking of like that particular scene and just like in particular the reaction he has to the whole situation he's in with that specific old lady character. There's a bit in this every time that I watch this, I laugh like a little bit harder, and it just goes to show, like, man, like, yeah, these characters are very funny, but when you actually really break it down, they're also kind of assholes a little bit too. It's like they've figured out like where the film is and what's gonna happen, and then this lady just like interrupts them putting the pieces together, and she's like, just stop for a second. Are you telling me that my daughter is dead? And then Ryan Gosling just goes, yes! Yes!
My
so
favorite scene with Coke bottle glasses, there's a scene where Ryan Gosling like has a revelation. He's like, holy fucking shit! And she just looks at him and goes, oh!
He's just like, sorry.
I love that.
God, yeah, that little bit is great. God. There's just a lot of great character actors in this too. Like we mentioned, Keith David, like he shows up and steals it for a bit. The guy that gets the ink splashed in his face is fucking great, and I kind of wished he was in the movie a little bit more because he is Yeah. Yeah, he's very fun to watch this whole fucking movie.
I remember when I was watching it, though, I was, like, texting my wife, and because she was at work, and when Keith David popped up, I just texted, "Hey, Keith David!" And she goes, "Hey, Keith David!"
That rocks. I'm glad you guys have that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Fuck yeah. God, who is the... Oh, I do want to bring up, there is St. Louis representation in this movie. In particular, John Boy, the quote-unquote family doctor. He's played by actor Matt Bomer from Suits. That guy is from Webster Groves, Missouri, which was the city that our college was in.
Hey.
Looks like a guy from Webster. Wow.
Yeah, he's from Webster Groves.
How did he make it out? That's crazy. That's a feat of strength.
That is a feat of strength, and I wish I knew how he got out as well. I think I remember I found this out like the year that the movie came out, which was also the year that I started going to Webster. And it's just like, oh fuck yeah, I'm in a great place for film school. Man oh man. Man oh fucking man.
They just did away with the chess team. I don't know if our alma mater is gonna like count for much at job interviews much longer. We're like this close from being Fontbonne graduates, homies.
Hate it.
I hate it too.
I thought this bit of trivia was funny. So apparently Russell Crowe has like psychic powers about where the framing is, because they'd be filming like over the shoulder shots, and whenever like Ryan Gosling would like accidentally like shift his head in like Russell Crowe's way, he would reach up with his bear claw and just move Ryan Gosling's head to the side to make him stop blocking Russell Crowe. I just want to see those dailies. Shane, break into WB and get me those dailies. You can get the deleted scenes while you're at it. Just please, I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see those dailies. I want to see those deleted scenes. Such a good fucking movie.
The Second Sight 4K that they put out is good. It's got a lot of good bonus content, like an actual commentary track mediated by someone who knows more about The Nice Guys than the two guys who wrote The Nice Guys, which is fucking hilarious. A lot of nice interviews. That said, the color grade is fucking shit. Another example, fucking Eyes Wide Shut, fucking all the James Cameron movies, fucking all the Wong Kar-wai movies. Why is it when we get these amazing movies in 4K, fucking Basquiat's the worst offender? They're like, you know what? Let's make the colors dog shit. Director approved dog shit. I fucking do not like the way the Second Sight 4K looks. It's like, imagine this film, but like washed out and desaturated except for random scenes. At least we have the old grade on 4K. Thank God for that. But yeah, they made like a desaturated, shittier looking version of The Nice Guys. Ugh. Stupid.
That's lame.
Damn.
It's also lame to hear that Eyes Wide Shut has a shitty 4K. Just thinking of getting that.
It's worth it still. Eyes Wide Shut is a pretty movie, and the cinematographer who worked on Eyes Wide Shut, like, you know, he had Kubrick's notes. He's like, Kubrick would approve of this grade, but, you know, you just get attached to the way the movie has looked forever. Like Lord of the Rings. That's another fucking one where they changed the colors.
Or one that I watched recently, going on a tangent about 4K restorations not looking that good. I watched, I think this was like a month or two ago at this point, I rewatched Super 8. That 4K kind of fucking sucks. It's a lot, it's not that good looking a 4K, and it's a lot darker than I remembered it being. I was like, man, all these nighttime shots, I remember being able to see shit at one point. Like, they really upped the blacks in it, and it's just, like, really dark.
I have an HDR TV, so I like to think I'm like, I feel like that's the immediate thing you'd get through it from, like, video enthusiasts is like, oh, well, are you watching this on an OLED? And I at least have an HDR-capable TV.
You clearly don't own an air fryer.
It sucks. Like, I do not have a fucking $20,000 OLED television, but I have an HDR-capable Hisense piece of shit from Costco. And the fact that it doesn't look good in HDR, like, I need to shell out for a fucking OLED to make these movies not look like they're shot in, like, middle of the night vision is kind of egregious. And, like, I'll adjust the settings, and then when I can finally start seeing things again, it's way too bright, and everything's, like, all fucked up, and I'm just like, oh, man, this sucks. Oh, Robert Downey Jr.'s in this movie. I had to remember to get that out before we...
Wait, is he?
Yeah, kind of. No, we actually can't confirm that. There's rumor that he plays the corpse of Sid Shattuck. That dead guy they find by the tree with, like, half his face fucked up. Apparently, the rumor is that's RDJ. There's articles out there about how that's Robert Downey Jr. And on the commentary track that was recorded, like, this year, the mediator brings it up and is like, you want to put this to bed? You want to finally put this to rest and confirm it? And Shane Black is like, actually, you know, the myth of it is probably better at this point. And just says nothing more about it. He's just letting it slide. We're never gonna know.
Damn.
But
God.
if you look at him, it looks a lot like RDJ. Look at him. Fuck it. Oh, also that line, when the lawyer gets them out of that skiff with the Justice Department, like the first time, he says the line, there should be a fucking statue of me in your house. Apparently, that's a thing Joel Silver says every time he pulls off like a producer move. Like every time he gets you something last minute or does something big for your movie, Joel Silver like loves to say the line like, there should be a fucking statue of me in your house, which is just very charming. I'm glad he allowed like a Joel Silverism into a Joel Silver movie like that. At least he shows he has a sense of humor.
So what you're telling me is that he 100% said this to the Wachowskis at one point.
Yes! Especially them!
Yeah, man oh man. Joel Silver, he really goes to bat for those Wachowskis. And then the entirety of the nation just lets him down. Much like they did for the Nice Guys. All right, I think since we did go on a bit of a tangent about 4K restorations that weren't the Nice Guys one, I think now is probably a good time to wrap things up. Unless does anyone else have anything else they want to bring up?
I'm ready to go.
All right. Okay, we're gonna move on then. We're gonna go into our final thoughts on the Nice Guys. Austin, we'll start with you, buddy.
It is absolutely cheeks that we got sequels to Zoolander, Space Jam, and Practical Magic, but the powers that be won't let Shane Black revisit the winning formula. It reminds me of, like, sewing machines. Lots of industries, like the person who invents it originally becomes overshadowed, you know, eventually as newcomers come along and do it better. Shane Black is like the fucking Singer brand sewing machine. Not only did he invent this subgenre more or less, buddy cop shit, but he also gave us possibly the most perfect version of a buddy cop movie. Hopefully, someday, these two will get back together. I mean, the internet basically persuaded Neon to get the It Follows sequel made with roughly equivalent pressure, so I think we'll be able to do it. We just have to keep trying. Here's to hoping, because this movie kicks ass and stuff.
Hell yeah. Alright, Tim, final thoughts, buddy. Let's have it.
Movie nice. Yeah, I like this. It's a good time. Go check it out. Back to you, Joe.
Hell yeah. Alright, my final thoughts. I love this movie. I don't know how else to say it. I revisited an old review from my old review show where I talked about this movie. I did not do this movie justice. Tiny me did not know how to talk about movies very well back then.
Why do we fall?
I'm never...
So we learn to pick ourselves up.
Exactly.
Batman Begins.
But yeah, it's very funny, and I'm never going to release that video. I'm going to leave that in the vaults. There's a reason I deleted it, but it is very funny.
I've hacked into your hard drive. It's going in the episode. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no! But I really loved this movie. It's It's a lot of fun. It's a great buddy comedy with two of the best buddy cop performances ever. It's fucking great. And I can safely say this. This is maybe going to be the most hipster thing I ever say on this show. And you know what? I fucking earned the right to say it. But I thought Margaret Qualley was cool and hot before anyone else thought Margaret Qualley was cool and hot. But you want to know who else thought Margaret Qualley was cool and hot before we all thought Margaret Qualley was cool and hot? Not you, because you didn't see this movie in theaters. You saw the Angry Birds movie. But we like you anyway. but we like you anyway. So thank you for watching this very nice episode of the Bomb Squad Matinee on The Nice Guys. Comment down below, let us know, what do you think of The Nice Guys? Do you have a favorite buddy cop, buddy movie? Let us know what those are. Is this the best Ryan Gosling performance? I hope you think so, because I think so. Comment below, let us know. While you're down there, hit that like button so we know how much you like us. Hit that subscribe button so we know how much you love us. Hit the bell icon so you can get updates on new videos and what have you. Check out our Patreon. Help support us there on the Patreon. $5 tier, you get commentary tracks. $10 tier, you get the shout out at the end of every video. So Tanya Kraft, thank you for supporting us. We love the support. You are in fact a nice lady.
It's true.
Anywho, check us out on our socials. Check us out on any audio platform that there's a podcast for. We're probably on there somewhere. We love the support, and you guys listening to us. I think it helps boost us in the algorithm or something. I don't know. I just work here. As I mentioned before, check out my Etsy 35mm keepsakes. I'll just keep that one brief. Tune in next time for when we talk about... Who knows what we're talking about next week.
Next week we'll be taking a journey through music history with Ralph Bakshi's American Pop, hosted by Ethan.
Hell yeah, an Ethan hosted episode, so there's a strong chance that, oh hey, we're gonna get a lot of views. Because man, oh man, those Ralph Bakshi videos, they do business. But they're also fun times. I love the Ethan Ralph Bakshi episodes, so it's gonna be fun to watch that. We hope that you tune in for that, and we hope to just see you later in general. Bye guys.
Joe, there are whores here.
They slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."